Civil War, right. Primarily, actually the Civil War. Because what happened is when the Civil War started in 1861, the federal government pulled a lot of the troops who were out west here back east to fight in the war. And so they weren't here to protect individuals, Home Express riders, settlers, things of that sort. So they stopped the business primarily because of the war. But whoever said railroad and telegraph was another thing was the reason it never came back, because after the war, we now had railroads running through southern Arizona as well as the telegraph running through southern Arizona also. So that's why it never came back. So short-lived, but everybody knows about it, or at least a little bit about it. So the Pony Express. In the corner here, this sculpture is, I think, is absolutely beautiful. It's known as Appeal to the Great Spirit. I don't know if you've ever seen this image before. It was done by Cyrus Dallin in 1912. There is one life-size version of that in the Boston Museum of Art. And then this is the second size, after the life-size. There were 9 that were created, but only 6 still exist because it's believed that 3 were melted down in World War II to get the metal, sadly. So there are 6 that exist. All 6 are in institutional collections, so this will probably be the only opportunity, unless you go to Boston, to see that piece. It's that rare, but I think it's just a beautiful image. And of course it captures the plight of the native. Now, in Western art, there are 2 names that, even if you don't know much about it, you know those names, and that's Remington and Russell. And they're over here. Charles Russell and Frederick Remington, they both started their careers as illustrators. And you can see it because there's some of their early work here. They came here to the territory basically during the Apache Wars. Remington is a good example. There was a magazine at that point in time called Harper's Weekly, and they sent a reporter out here to ride with the cavalry as they chased Geronimo through southeastern Arizona, parts of New Mexico, into Mexico. Remington was sent here as a young man to do the illustrations for that guy's articles, and that's how he got his start. Similar with Russell, but they both evolved into painters and sculptors. This is a Russell oil. That's a Russell sculpture. This is Frederick Remington's probably most famous sculpture called Mountain Man. And there's a Remington oil behind. Both did both. Many people's minds, maybe Remington was a better sculptor and Russell a better painter, but again, that's to everybody's own decision there. But you can kind of see how they got their start. What's interesting is that Western artists today, working Western artists, many of them got their start as web designers. So it's kind of the same thing. They're doing illustrations, but they're doing it electronically versus with these guys with pen or pencil. Same concept though. So it's kind of interesting how history somewhat repeats itself. These 2, as I said, were the biggies. There's a group called the Cowboy Artists of America that is the largest organization of Western artists. They refer to themselves as the sons of Remington and Russell because these were their inspiration. Remington